Welcome, boys and girls, to Language Out Loud 2021 student training. This training is for students who have joined Category 4 of the competition. Category 4 is an open group for 6 to 12 years old students to join. The purpose of this training is to, first, guide you through the competition, such as giving you some background information and important reminders. I will also walk you through the online resources that you can access, for example, where you can read the books and share your ideas. This training is also for you and I to read, share, and have fun together. I strongly encourage you to participate in the activities in the later part of this video and share your work. So before we start, please get these ready. You will need some color pens and some papers. Please also get your heart ready to read, share, and have fun. You may pause the video to get these ready. Now let's start with what LOL is about. LOL starts with reading. When you read and engage with the text, you start to think. Some of these ideas are great ideas, and you would like to share with other people. You may want to tell someone else about your idea. You may want to write them down and share. But these are not the only ways to express what you think. You can also draw what you think. You can also act what you think. You can even make a song or play music to show your feelings and thoughts. This is what LOL all about. You read, you think, you express your thoughts using different ways, and you share them with other people and inspire them. Now, after knowing what LOL is about, let's go and read. Now, as I have said, LOL starts with reading. Then what do you read for the competition? If you would like to join Category 4, which is open for 6 to 12 years old students, you can choose among these Wiseman Classics. This series of Wiseman Classics are the abridged and adapted version of famous classic stories. We have The Boy Who Cried I Promise, The Giving Tree, The Sign of Four, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and A Christmas Carol. So what do you have to do in the competition? Step 1. You choose one book for the competition. Step 2. You rewrite either the opening or the ending of the story. If you choose any of these 4 classic stories, you have to rewrite its ending. If you choose A Christmas Carol, you will have to rewrite the opening of the story. You can write the new opening or ending in the form of narrative prose or poetry with up to 800 words. Step 3. You prepare a video presenting your written work. You can choose whatever ways to present your new opening or ending. We are not just interested in the written parts. Your interpretation of them matters to us. Step 4. You submit both the writing and the video to us. In the video, you can choose to use your phone, your iPad, or your camera to film it. You can choose to use your phone, your iPad, or your camera to film the video. As long as you look and sound clear in the video, that would do. For more regulations about the submitted video and the video production, please go to our event website and click Registration and Submission for more information. If you wish to read the competition information in greater detail, you can go to the section Competition Details. Scroll down the page and look for a purple box that says Category 4. For Category 4, there are 4 awards, namely Best Presentation Award, Most Creative Award, Best Performance Award, and People's Choice Award. You may learn more about the awards in the Awards and Criteria section of the event website. Okay, we've said enough about the competition. I can't wait to read with you. When you're ready, let's go. Oh, wait a second. I forgot to tell you where you can find the books. All the books can be read from Fun and Friends Book Club. You may download the app FNF Book Club onto your iPad or tablet from App Store or Google Play Store. If you haven't downloaded the app, you may pause the video to do it now. When you start the app, enter the login information. The login information will be or should have been sent to you after you register for the competition. Next, you will see a digital bookshelf. You can browse all the books in the Wiseman Classic series. Select the book that you would like to read and click Read. You can choose Read to Me, so a narrator voice will read the book to you. Or you can choose Read It Myself to enjoy some silent reading. Now this time, we really can start reading. Let's start with our first book, The Boy Who Cried I Promise. Let's get this book ready. Let's start with The Boy Who Cried I Promise. We are going to read the first chapter together. This is Jonah. J-O-N-A-H. Jonah. Jonah always wants more, though he already has a lot. One day, Jonah sees a sparkling ruler. It is Aiden's ruler. Jonah yells, A sparkling ruler. Would you like to exchange your ruler for my pop-up pencil case? Aiden asks, You really like my sparkling ruler? Okay then, you will bring it to me tomorrow, right? Jonah cries, I promise I will give you my pop-up pencil case tomorrow. And then Jonah grabs Aiden's sparkling ruler. Tomorrow comes. Aiden asks politely, Can I have the pop-up pencil case, please? Jonah laughs. Of course. This is the end of the first chapter. Here are some questions for you to think about. Number 1. Do you think Jonah will keep his promise? Number 2. What kind of person is Jonah? Number 3. Would you like to be friends with Jonah? In the book, The Boy Who Cried I Promise, Jonah asks his classmates to give him things every now and then. He always promises to give them something in return the next day. Do you think Jonah keeps his promise? You get to choose what decisions Jonah should make and help him to learn an important lesson. Remember from the story that Jonah has a lot? You can tell from this picture how much he has. What about you? Do you also have a lot? Please draw what you have on a piece of paper. You may pause the video to draw. Do color the things that you have. When you have finished with your drawing, we can go on to the next book. After going through all the 5 books, I will let you know what to do with your drawing. You can upload your drawing and share it with other people so other people can see your work. Next, we are going to read The Giving Tree. Before we start, I would like you to get a piece of paper ready. I would like you to draw what we read later. Now let's get the paper and the color pens ready. When you have everything, let's start. Once upon a time, there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. Every day, the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat her apples. They would play hide and seek. When the boy was tired, he would sleep in her shade. The boy loved the tree very much. The tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older. The tree was often alone. Here are some questions for you to think about. Number 1. Do you think the tree loves the boy? Why? Number 2. The other way round. Do you think the boy loves the tree? And why? Number 3. Why do you think the tree is now often alone? The Giving Tree is a story about a tree and a little boy. They love each other. They spend a lot of fun time together, and they are both very happy. Time goes by, and the boy starts growing up. He visits the tree less and less, and the tree grows lonely and sad. The boy is not as happy anymore. He wants more now. What will happen to the tree and the boy? Now let's draw what you have read. If you don't have enough time to finish your drawing, you may read the part again or pause the video to draw. Later, I will let you know what to do with your drawing. You can upload your drawing and share it with other people so other people can view your work. Up next, we have the sign of 4. Are you ready to catch the bad people with Sherlock Holmes? This time, get another piece of paper. We will draw Sherlock Holmes and write down 3 things about him. Let's go and get a piece of paper. My friend Sherlock Holmes always behaves like this. 3 times a day for months, I watched him playing cards. If Holmes is not using his brain, he gets bored. He never plays cards except when he is bored. We chatted. My brain, he said, hates having nothing to do. Give me problems, give me work, and I am always happy. That is why I am a private investigator. I seldom laugh at Holmes, but sometimes he does think a lot of himself. The only crime solver who doesn't work for the police, I said. I am the greatest detective. That is Holmes. He often talks like this, and it is hard to be angry with him. I remember how I once gave him a test. Now we have read a short part from the Sign of Four, and here are some questions for you to think about. Number 1. What does a private investigator do? Number 2. How would you describe Sherlock Holmes? And number 3. Why do you think Sherlock calls himself the greatest detective? This story opens in the Baker Street home of the famous detective Sherlock Holmes and his friend, Dr. John Watson. Holmes is bored, having no case to work on, but very soon, very soon, someone is going to ask Holmes for his help to solve a case that involves a disappearing man, a mysterious hidden treasure, and murder. Are you ready to help Holmes with the case? Do read on and figure out who the bad people are. If you haven't finished drawing Sherlock, you may read the part again or pause the video to draw. Later, I will let you know what to do with your drawing. You can upload your drawing and share it with other people so other people can view your work. Now, we are on to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. We are going to read first, then we will draw. Once there were 4 siblings: Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy Pevensey, who were sent to the country to stay with an old professor in a great big house. On the first day in the country, it rained so heavily that the children decided to explore the house. They discovered a spare room that was completely empty except for a large wardrobe. Peter, Susan, and Edmund left the room, but Lucy stayed behind to look into the wardrobe. When the wardrobe door opened, she stepped inside and walked deeper and deeper. And instead of the end of the wardrobe, she found herself in the middle of a snowy wood. Lucy explored the wood, knowing that the safe wardrobe was still behind her. She saw a light and decided to walk towards it. In 10 minutes, she reached it and found it was a lamppost. She wondered why there was a lamppost in the middle of a wood. Suddenly, a strange creature appeared. He carried an umbrella and several parcels. He was like a man from the waist up, but had legs and hooves like a goat. He was a fawn. When the fawn saw Lucy, he was so startled that he dropped all the parcels. Now we have met the first character in the snowy wood. Who is that? Yes, that's the fawn. Let's draw the fawn together. I am going to tell you more about the fawn. Let's take a look and draw the fawn. Below is a description of the fawn. He was only a little taller than Lucy herself, and he carried over his head an umbrella, white with snow. From the waist upwards, he was like a man, but his legs were shaped like a goat's. The hair on them was glossy black. He also had a tail, but Lucy did not notice this at first because it was neatly caught up over the arm so as to keep it from trailing in the snow. He had a strange but pleasant little face, with a short pointed beard and curly hair. And out of the hair there stuck two horns. One of his hands held the umbrella. In the other arm, he carried several brown paper parcels. Here are some questions for you to think about. Why is there a snowy wood inside the wardrobe? Number 2. Why does the fawn seem surprised to see Lucy? Number 3. Do you think the professor knows about the snowy wood in the wardrobe? This story is set during World War II. Very soon, not only Lucy, but also Peter, Susan, and Edmund will enter the world of Narnia through the wardrobe in a house. Narnia is a land of talking animals and mythical creatures that are ruled by the evil White Witch. How do the 4 children help fight against the evil witch? Do read on to find out. Now, if you haven't finished drawing the fawn, you may read the part again or pause the video to draw. Later, I will let you know what to do with your fawn. You can upload your drawing and share it with other people so other people can view your work. Last but not least, we will read A Christmas Carol together. I want you to think of the unhappiest person you have ever met in your life. I don't mean somebody who is unhappy because something terrible has happened. These people are easy to find. And as you get older, you will discover that there are more and more reasons to be made terribly unhappy really very easily. No, I want you to think of somebody who is just unhappy about everything in their life, and you have no idea why. They are the sort of people who will yell at someone who works in a shop because they didn't know the answer to a question. They will beep their horn loudly when they have to wait for a moment at a red light. They will glare at a baby who cries. They will shout at children who are having fun in the park and are laughing and shouting together. This sort of person is a really properly unhappy one. Have you ever met one? If you have, I bet you haven't met one who is as unhappy as Mr. Scrooge. Even his name, Scrooge, just sounds unhappy. Some may say that it was because Mr. Jacob Marley, his friend and business partner, died. But they are being very generous. Mr. Scrooge doesn't have any reason to be as unhappy and horrible as he is. Here are some questions for you to think about. Number 1. Why is Mr. Scrooge so unhappy all the time? Number 2. Would you like to be friends with Mr. Scrooge? Why or why not? Number 3. How do you think people would act when Mr. Scrooge is around? Now, there's no right or wrong answer here, so do think. From the story, we know Mr. Scrooge is a mean man. He is unkind to the people around him, and he also hates Christmas. This story takes place one old Christmas Eve, where Scrooge is visited by ghosts. The ghosts take Scrooge on several journeys to teach him the errors of his ways. How will Mr. Scrooge change by Christmas Day? If you want to know how Mr. Scrooge changes, do go on and read the story. Now, based on what we have read, I would like you to imagine if you were to send Mr. Scrooge a Christmas present, what would it be? Draw and explain your gift. You may now take a piece of paper, pause the video, and draw. Now we have briefly talked about all 5 books. Now it is time for you to share your work. First, take a photo of your drawing or of all your drawings. Next, upload your drawings to this link. You may type the link in another tab, or you may scan the QR code on the screen. When you arrive at the page, this is what you will see. You will see 5 columns with 5 different book names. Select the book that you would like to share your thoughts about. Click the plus button. A white box will appear. In the box, type your name and tell us about your drawing. Next, click the little gray arrow pointing up to upload your drawing. You can select the file, your drawing, from your device. After uploading your work, you will see your picture on the website. Other people can view your work, and you can view other people's work too. You can give likes to the work that you like. After uploading your work, make sure you remember to download Fun and Friends Book Club to go on and read the books. You will have access to all the books that we have started to read. After you've finished with each chapter, you will see a button that says Question Time. There are some questions to test you to see if you understand the story. If you give the right answer, you will see Well done. If not, you will see Incorrect. Do test yourself while you read. There is also another button that says My Studio. In My Studio, you can record your own recording and try to read the lines to yourself. There is one last thing that I would like to remind you, and that is about your work submission. How do you submit your work? Go to our event website and click Registration and Submission. Scroll down the page and you will see Submit Your Work. Click that, follow the instructions to upload your work. Don't forget to upload your work before the 22nd of April. You may visit our website for more information, or if you have questions, you can send an email to info@thinkseries.org. Now we have come to the end of today's training. Thank you for watching the video. Do read, and I look forward to viewing your inspiring work. Have fun reading!